What's up? You know what time it is. It's time again for another movie review. And today I'll be reviewing the movie It Chapter 2. Now, this is the follow up from Chapter 1, who came out in 2017. That was spectacular. It was scary, it was straight to the point. Bill Skarsgård was fantastic as Pennywise, and the cast of kids were hilarious. So, this one is a continuum of the same story because the book is 1,200 pages, written by Stephen King, and so it had to be put basically in two parts. The first movie, I believe, is 2 hours, and the second movie comes in as 2 hours and 50 minutes, and it's a big waste of 2 hours and 50 minutes. It's a 3 hour film. It needs to be edited by 50 minutes at least and get straight to the point. Now, the visual effects are really, really good. The way the town of Derry, they return basically back to the same location where they filmed the first one, and it looks great. The cinematography is great. One thing I like about Warner Brother Pictures is I love the way that their films look. The cinematography and the production and the look and the gloss of the film is always spectacular to me. I love when the logo comes on and it says Warner Brother Pictures, then it pulls apart, and when whoever they're in partners with, as far as another film company or with distribution, it'll flow into that logo of the other film company, and I really enjoy that part. Now, this movie isn't as scary as the first one is. It has its scary moments, but in general, it's not as scary. It has some really good pop-up moments, and Pennywise is up to his old tricks after 27 years of resting, and he has a few new victims that are kids, and the murders and the attacks are brutal. It's very sneaky, and he lures whoever he wants to devour in, just like he does in the first one, and it's very brutal and straight to the point. Now, it's a lot of flashback scenes in the movie that aren't necessary. Like I said, it needs to be edited by 50 minutes and get straight to the point. The only reason why these people come together as adults from their childhood is to revisit and actually a rematch of Pennywise and finally killing them. I have to say, the reveal of Pennywise's truest form was disappointing. I haven't read the book, but I am interested in reading it. It's 1,200 pages, and I'm willing to actually read it because I'm willing to bet that the book is actually better. I thought it was disappointing. I felt the climax was disappointing. Um, I like the casting of the adults. I thought it was really good. There's some dramatic moments in the adults, the kids as adults, in their actual livelihood as adults that fell flat. I could tell they were supposed to be serious and be taken seriously, but it's flat. Um, the climax, like I said, was disappointing. The revealing of Pennywise's its real form was disappointing, and where it comes from. It wasn't elaborated. It wasn't also elaborated on how to actually kill and get rid of it too as well, which I was disappointed about. And I also felt like the kids were more interesting than their adult version of themselves. As kids, they felt very much settled in who they were and knew who they were. And with the language and the comedy, it felt great too. That's another thing too as well. It wasn't as funny as the first one. The first part had a good mixture of humor and comedy and mystery and thriller to it. This one, it's a little bit flat in a lot of different areas. Like I said, that was supposed to be taken seriously, but it doesn't. You don't take it seriously. It's flat in its execution too as well, and acting. And there are some really great actors like Jessica Chastain who plays in the role too as well as the female, all grown up, and also James McAvoy, and to just to name a few. But I have a feeling the way that their performances are projected and executed, that it was a bit of a direction from the director notes on how to play stuff. Otherwise, I felt like if they were let loose and were basically given permission to play the character how they foresaw it, I think it would have been greater too as well. This movie in general is pretty good, but it's not as effective as the first part. And going back to people, the kids as they were kids, I feel like they knew who they were and were more well developed as kids than they were as adults. I feel like as the adult version of themselves, they were trying to discover who they were and where they're going in their lives. And there's this discombobulation that they had, which was explained a little bit in the film. But I also felt like it was a discombobulation in general when they were introduced and where they were in their current lives as adults too as well. I felt like the kids were more developed and more solid as people than they are as adults. I give this film in general a C plus.